Hello, and thank you for joining me on another one of my tech series videos. For those of you who don't know me, I always had a lot of passion for technology, and here I'm going to share some of that with you. If you find this video entertaining and informative, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode about my immersion into tech as the time-lapse traveler. Hello everybody, and welcome to another scooter review video. This time I'm out here reviewing the Fieabor scooter. That's a very powerful one, as you could see just by looking at it. It's definitely one of the most powerful scooters that I've ever reviewed so far. Definitely more powerful than the Dark Knight that I reviewed previously, and also one of the best looking as well. The power of this scooter is really a standout feature because it has 52 volts of power. Unlike 48, which most other high-end scooters and powerful performance scooters top out, and it might not necessarily be the fastest scooter on the market with its not over-the-top size. It is a big one, of course, but there are scooters bigger than this one. Considering the size, this one can go up to 70 kilometers an hour or possibly even faster, depending on how hard you push it. The range is also really nice because if you keep it on low power mode, this can get you as far as 100 kilometers range. There are two motors in this version. There's one in the front and one in the back. Each one of them is 1,200 watts. Which is really insane. Unfortunately, like the Dark Knight, this one has only one charge port, which is not so bad because typically you'll be charging this thing overnight anyway. And after about 6 or so hours of charging, the massive battery will get all the juice that it needs. The power that you get out of these motors is really impressive. Just like the other scooters that I reviewed, this one has two power modes running on either one motor or two, which you can control, of course, with the single or dual motor button. And it has an eco or turbo mode. Not sure why you would want to use the eco mode with this big boy over here, but I guess if you're just really trying to conserve on power and trying to get home, then that is definitely an option. So this is going to be just more of an overview of this scooter, not a full-fledged review like I did before, but hopefully it'll give you guys enough information to make a decision whether or not this is the scooter that might be right for you. I really like this feature that some scooters have, but not that many actually, of being able to fold the handlebars. I wish that more scooters would have this option. Being able to fold the handlebars, these things can be quite bulky, especially if you're trying to fit it inside of a trunk of a car. So being able to fold it further down like this is a big plus. The shock suspension system on this scooter is really advanced. Actually, I have to say that the suspension here is better than the suspension on the Dark Knight. Although that one is really smooth, this one I have to say is even smoother. It really just takes things to a whole new level. The brakes here are really strong. They're hydraulic front and back. The board here is really well designed. I think it's not too big and not too small, just big enough for 2 feet to stay on here comfortably. Very nice grip. Underneath it houses a really large battery, as you get about 70 kilometers range. Very respectable, I think. But of course your mileage might vary because it all depends on the speed that you go at and how much power you're trying to get out of this thing. You get a turn signal just like in the Dark Knight, which is really cool. And just like in the Dark Knight, you get a light show. This particular one is not quite as bright as the Dark Knight. In fact, in the daylight, you can kind of just barely make out the lights that are turned on. But that's really to be used at nighttime and to conserve power. The headlight, though, is very bright, as you can see, and that's what really matters. The light show is pretty psychedelic at night, and that's when you really need it. The LED is backlit and very easy to read. Not sure how easy it is in the sunlight, though, but to a naked eye, you could clearly see the information, which is what really matters. Like I mentioned, the battery output on this scooter is 52 volts and the capacity is 26 to 30 amp hours. The combined power of the dual motors is up to 2,400 watts and the range can be anywhere from 70 to about 100 kilometers depending on how you ride it. The speed can easily top out between 70 to 80 kilometers an hour depending on the conditions like your battery and the terrain that you're riding on. The suspension is hydraulic in the front and a spring shock in the rear. For those who are concerned about the maximum payload that it can carry, it's up to 200 grams, so it's definitely strong enough to carry most kind of weight. Here you can see some more examples of just how smooth the shocks are. I also had an opportunity to take a ride on Bonifacio High Street. Because it was nighttime, there were pretty much no people there for me to bump into, so I wasn't getting in the way of anybody.
I guess you could say that one simple way to emphasize the point of how hefty the scooter is to take a look at the stand. That does not mess around. This one is not going to break off anytime soon. It's going to hold the scooter in place very well, and it's very adjustable also, which is pretty cool. Speaking of adjusting, the mechanism to fold the scooter down and to unfold it again, you don't need to have any kind of crazy strength. 3 levers, one on each side, the one in the middle over here, and then the whole thing is held down by this small lever that is actually holding the scooter up. So just press down on that, and there you go. It's being held by the latch over here that's inside the hinge. And then to open it up again, press on this latch, raise it up, just do the same thing backwards. Press on this lever, pull up the stem, it clicks in, as you saw and heard right there. And then just push these 2 levers back in. That's it, it's now locked. Really nice and steady, very reliable mechanism. Definitely like that. The only downside of this, besides, you know, hefty price, is also the weight. This thing is heavy. Not for the faint of heart, not if you're planning to actually get the scooter around without riding it. The actual riding experience of this scooter is super strong, steady, smooth. The stabilization of the suspension here is, so far in my personal experience, second to none. Even though it has only hydraulic suspension in the front and a spring suspension in the back, really smooth ride across any kind of terrain. Even getting up and down on top of a curb, like the small curb over there, I was able to do that even while holding a camera. So for transportation on the roads, transportation in the city, transportation outside of the city, on the highway even, no matter where you take the scooter, is going to perform just right for you and look good while doing it too. The lights over here, besides being great for show, the front headlight is really powerful and illuminates the road exactly how you would want it to. So I hope that you enjoyed this simple overview of the Fieabor scooter. If you did, then please do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Always keep taking care of yourselves and each other, and of course, look out for more videos coming at you from the Time-Lapse Traveler.